Welcome, everyone, to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, DB Smiley. No hard S. Just DB Smiley. Just putting that out there. Anyway, I am joined by Miss Chloe Kitten, who is just being ever so adorable, sleeping on the top of her couch. So that is your kitten cam for the night. Is going to be some Chloe Kitten. But with that, got a big match coming up here. As we jump into it, it's going to be Tricky Gooses versus BeefBois, A East matchup here. Both teams last season finished in playoff range, made it to playoffs for A East, but didn't get too far along the way. Nonetheless, though, I think both teams have a lot of promise here in A East this season. I'm excited for this as we're going to head to the shrines, which are most infernal. Those infernal shrines. They're so infernal this time of year. Go ahead and jump into it. Tricky Gooses on the left, BeefBois on the right. What are you having for dinner tonight? Is it Peking duck? Or beef with broccoli? I had Chinese food tonight. I have Chinese food on the brain. But yeah, casting hots like Chinese food always makes me hungry for more hots later. That was stupid. That was just don't entertain me. Don't entertain me. But looking forward to this match as we get set up here. Fortunately, looks like we had a DC. Yeah, we had incorrect first pick from the sign of it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna blame Tricky Gooses for that one entirely. That is their fault. No, it was actually Duck said himself. It was his fault. So I'm just poking fun as I am wont to do. Making sure that I have everyone set up here in my overlay. So taking a look so far, not a ton of matches played in this division as yet. Only 3 matches have been played. You got Sky 5. I think it was they beat Dark Allegiance. Xanthite. Who did Xanthite play? Cannot recall actually. But Phoenix Rising Diamond getting 2-1 over Running Wild. Was it? I don't think it was Baby on Board. Was it Dead Game Players? No, Sky 5 played Dead Game Players. That was it. I think Xanthite played Dark Allegiance, or some mixture thereof. In either case, though, looks like we're good to get back in to the match here. I'm just making sure that I'm set up on my end, and then should be good to go. Making sure that everyone is ready in case anyone went to the bathroom with the DC or something like that. Here we go. All right. So, on the left side, Tricky Gooses, they are the first pick. BeefBois did win the toss, chose map pick. They wanted to ban out Sky Temple, but I told them good news, they didn't need to spend the ban. They banned out Braxis and Garden of Camping instead. Tricky Goose is banning out Tomb and Volskaya. As we see, the first ban came down. It is that Chromie. That dastardly no ne'er-do-well. I don't. Chromie's not really a ne'er-do-well. Saw a crazy Chromie coming out from Infofox last night. Just really solid play. Some great time traps. Hogger gonna be banned out. Our newest hero in the Nexus. Hanzo, very quick second ban, as my Chromie stats took forever and a day to load. Hopefully the Hanzo stats a little faster than that. There we go. Hanzo, not super popular, but can be incredibly effective with that Dragon's Arrow. Last band to come down the pipeline, it will be the Brightwing? Zul'jin. Zul'jin is incredibly strong at the moment, it feels like, on this patch. Still, though, a very surprisingly low popularity rate and an even lower win rate at only 40%. Incredibly strong Zul'jin is at what he does, but he only really does one thing. We see the Sonya coming out. W-build Sonya is making a splash right now. Splash damage! I'm so alone. Stukov Tigers. Love that combo. I did not plan that pun, by the way. But I always love to see a Scooby-Doo. And Tigers, I think, is just incredibly strong at the moment. Are we going to see something like Triple Warrior here? I know there's a few picks that Triggers like go here, and that didn't set up any of the ones I was thinking of. So you got Birdie coming in on the Sylvanas. Carpe DM, who has moved over to tank. Gonna be jumping onto May. Take a look at some Sylvanas stats from last season here. As a Deckard Cain gonna get banned out. It is something I know Tricky Gooses has played before with all the CC that he brings to the table. Of course, it was Carpe who played it last season, but not doing so obviously at this point, having made some role swaps. And it's good to role swap every once in a while, keep the game fresh. Deckard was still very popular last season, but keep in mind that the Ruby change took place kind of later in the season. Well, it was fairly early. That was a pretty sizable nerf. Uther banned out from Tricky Gooses. I know they quite like that healer. We saw a lot of Stukov Uther last night in the, I think it was the Nexus division. Or it was it was a West. Boosted Bonobos breaking it out there. And there is the Diablo and Cassia, who has just been such an insanely powerful assassin this season so far. You can see the popularity jumped considerably after the rework. Of course, Diablo, pretty much always in style. Got to be pretty pumped about the news today, you got to imagine. 50% popularity rate. Not bad. There is the Gold Dan, so there's some shrine control, and we're going to have Key jumping onto Anna. See, Key has been a healer for a while. Always likes the Stukov, but failing that seems to want the Anna here.
Anyone order a one-man wrecking crew?
We shall see Gazlo, the last pick here. See, Key did play with Wholesome Halfwits last season. They struggled a bit, but still got a win there on that Anna. And then the last pick, Tribulation, jumping onto that Gazlo. Gonna be a lot of CC here on the side of BeefBois. A lot of CC to try to set up Tychus and Cassia to blow up a target. You could get Diablo flip into Stukov or Gazlo follow up. Both gonna be rather effective. Of course, Diablo incredibly strong on the map. This is a map where Tychus, Commandeer Odin is incredibly powerful for the shrine control. It could force Tricky Gooses to have to play a bit safe. That might allow BeefBois enough time to make the plays they want to make. But we'll see. Quick reminder where we are. Tricky Gooses versus BeefBois. We're going to Infernal Shrines. We have seen Braxis and Garden banned out by BeefBois. Tricky banning out Temple of the Spider King and Volskaya Industries. So I'm so silly. Anyway, let's jump into this game. On the left side, it is the Gooses, which are most tricky. Go ahead and introduce them. We're going to have Duck on Sonya, Birdie on Sylvanas, Key on the Anna, Carpe Diem on the May, and Nana Ni going to be on the Gul'dan. It is Tricky Gooses. And on the right, the boys, which are most beefy. Going to be Sexy Exy on Diablo, Tribulation on Gaz, Albatox on Tychus, Root Beer Guy on the Stukov, and Smart Killer on the Cassia. Here we go. Sonya is looking like she's going to go into that W build. Speaking of W builds, as is Gul'dan, going with the channeling build here. Anna, Sleep Dart upgrade. Otherwise, fairly standard. Cassia going with the Q build. Right away, wave cleared. They went ahead on the side of BeefBois. They just took Tychus straight away bot to get some of that soak. But that said, Gul'dan's going to run down, clean it rather quickly. Of course, with that Gul'dan, they just have a ton of wave clearance, so it is going to be incumbent upon BeefBois not to fall too far behind in the soak down here. See right now, Sonya pressuring in the Gaz a bit. Gaz has to be careful, of course, because of that splash damage from the slam. Tychus stepping up in the lane. Gul'dan is going to step up, get some damage out, get a little drain life going. Tychus wants that globe, decides wisely against it. You can see now camp being started. No camp yet for Tricky Gooses. They might want to be looking for this invade. May is in a little bit of trouble at the moment. Does pop the ice block. Sonya has rotated down, so with the 5v4, it looks like BeefBois going to have to give up their siege camp here. Aggressive play coming out from Tricky Gooses. Do they maybe get on to Sexy Exy here? No, they're going to casually back up, get back to soak. They don't want to lose too much in the macro on the map here. Tribulation needs to be a bit careful. Does manage to avoid the May stun, but leaving some turrets down with Cassia there to soak. Going to run back top to counter out Duck in this top lane. But now Diablo looking to step in as well. Ooh, Diablo is rather low here. A bit concerning. He's going to be able to back up. We're going to see a Hearth coming in here. Tychus going with the In the Rhythm. We have Biotic Armor coming in from Stukov as well. Auto attack build from the looks of it from Diablo. Sonya continues double down on that slam build. Yeah, pretty much everyone just increasing their build. Otherwise on the left side. Tychus going to get that last bit of minion soak. Oh, there's one still up. He's going to be able to pick that up, and then he'll have to defend this bottom siege. Meanwhile, rotation here coming mid from Tricky Gooses. Do they look to try to get onto BeefBois? No, they're going to go ahead, head up to their bruiser camp. Both teams going to try to put their bruiser into the top lane. The shrine is active, but nobody home. Both teams right now content to make sure they get the soak. No one racing to start that shrine. But now Tricky Gooses making the big rotation down. Top has finally been grabbed. Looks like Gazlowe might stay top, which would mean they would be... No, Gaz is coming down. But you see, Sexy goes in, takes quite a bit of damage though. Now I'm going to back up. Sonya spin to win all over that Diablo. Diablo is a bit low. It's going to take Stukov some time to heal up here. And that time Tricky Gooses is using very well. Currently up 16, now over 20. And 30 and closing quickly. You can just see the shrine control from that Gul'dan. Sonya is all over Diablo in the back. Tychus turning the damage out. Now tries to walk away. Sonya able to get away. The question is, will Diablo get away here? Having a hard time. Gets the heal. It's going to be Duck going down. But the shrine has been captured. All the same by Tricky Gooses. Go ahead and let's keep an eye on here. We'll take a look at the replay in a second. See what transpired. Sexy baiting the Punisher back. Rest of the team going to start turning their attention on to this Punisher. Sexy actually going to have to Hearth here. With the Sylvanas, this does have some menace to it. as you can see, the Punisher does jump on and hit 2, and now looks like May's coming down. They maybe want to make something happen here. Go ahead and take a look at that replay of that last Shrine fight. The Shrine fight was breaking out, but that huge lead from Tricky Gooses, and back to the game here. Sorry, as I thought we'd have a minute, but non-stop action here in A East. That said, BeefBois tried to rotate to their siege. Tricky Gooses was sitting and waiting on it. So now an opportunity to push for them. We'll see if we can get that replay going once again here. Shrine was nope. Alright, well, so much for replays. Every time I go to replay, somebody on BeefBois overextends and gets popped. So I'm going to stop influencing the game by getting people killed by showing a replay. Need to be careful here. Ooh, root beer guy almost got the sleep dart, but fort has been grabbed here by Tricky Gooses. Level 10 on the horizon. No replay. I could have shown the replay for Tricky Gooses, but they decided they wanted to keep killing people, so not going to happen. Bottom camp has been picked up here by Tricky Gooses. Going to push in. Looks like they're going to take their own camp. They shouldn't have too much in the way of contest with the level 10s here. See the Wailing Arrow coming out. We do have the Ice Wall, which I've been seeing more and more lately over the Snowball. You got the Horrify and the Nano Boost and Wrath of the Berserker picked up by Sonya. Gaz currently trying to double soak, but having a hard time doing it because Sonya's doing pretty well up top. Now Gaz might actually be in a bit of trouble. Oh, there's the Horrify into the Ice Wall, but it does give enough time to rotate up. Does get the stun APOC combo on to Sylvanas. That is enough to make sure Tribulation gets away there. Not enough to secure a kill. Yeah, sorry I missed those 2 kills, but on the other hand, it's not my fault that they happen. Tricky Goose is doing well at the moment. Up only 2-1 kills, but have pushed a macro advantage to a fort in bot lane, as well as about 3/4 level lead. Both teams currently putting their bruisers into the lane. Oh, but Birdie got wallbanged there and had absolutely nowhere to go. That is a big boon here for Beefy Boys. Excuse me, it's just BeefBois, not Beefy Boys. BeefBois going to be able to start working on this shrine. We'll see if there's an attempted contest here by Tricky Gooses. Sylv going to be down for 5, but has a fairly sizable run back as well to negotiate. Currently, BeefBois focusing the shrine. They have 16. Sylv is up and making the run. 21 and counting, 22. Keep an eye on this. Here comes the Ice Wall, looking for the engage. Sylvanas is here. Here comes the stun. They're trying to focus in the Tychus. There's the Wailing Arrow. Focus comes in, but oh my goodness. The counter engage here from BeefBois, but a huge Horrify puts Gul'dan into a terrible spot. Excuse me, not Gul'dan, Gazlo. Root Beer guy goes down as well. And man, it was just a series of really, really good engages there. But it is Tricky Gooses coming out on top. It was a great engage onto the Tychus, but Diablo did a great job disengaging it, and Diablo goes down as well here. And now with the tower shut down, Smort Killer needs to be careful. Smort Killer goes down as well. And at this point, this is a sunk cost fallacy experiment in action coming out from BeefBois. They need to just walk away and recuperate themselves. They're looking like they maybe want to re-engage this, but here comes the Ice Wall. Catches out, oh boy, catches out Tychus. Tychus tries to run around the wall. The poison damage, no, goes down to the Gul'dan. They're trying to get on the Carpe Diem. They do get it with the detonation from Stukov there. But that will be a big set for Tricky Gooses. Take a look at that replay as we see the Punisher marching down the lane. You can see Here comes the Ice Wall setting up Tychus. The pings come in. They wanted to get that Tychus, but Diablo charges in, gets a good flip combo as well as the Cassie ult to get separation, but that huge Horrify separating out Gazlo and Stukov being the difference in that fight. As Tricky Gooses does well there. Mortar Punisher going to be cleaned up. Keep will still be standing. But a 2-level lead now for the members of Tricky Gooses, who I think really snowballed some kind of sunk cost fallacy, I would say, out of BeefBois. Bottom camp has been picked up, by the way. That's going to be cleaned up pretty dramalessly. Thought about engaging. Ice Wall came out, but Tychus that time able to get away from it. BeefBois down in the bot lane, wanting to clean this, but possibly looking at some separation here. Ooh, May went up. Diablo went in looking for the Sylve, able to walk away, but here comes Sonya. This could be a big fight. Possible 5v5 situation. Here comes Tychus dropping the Commandeer Odin. Sonya all over this backline. There's a big wailing arrow. Gazlo is completely separated and just has nowhere to go. And BeefBois is going to have to disengage that one. Take a look at that again in a second. Let's see what Tricky Gooses wants to do with this. Looks like they want to go ahead and take this mid fork down, and they're going to do just that. Now with the level 60 advantage, we'll see if they go for the keep wall with this double siege camp behind them. They do have the Sylvanas. She shuts down one of the turrets for a bit, but they don't push in too aggressively. Sonya is currently in top soaking. Ice Wall comes out, but rest of the team had already walked away for the Bruiser camp. Oh, but maybe May is caught a bit out of position, and that asks the question, was it worth? Little bit of, I don't know if it was miscommunication or self-separation there from Tricky Gooses. Take a look at that. Just looked like May, you know, she was still hanging around, threw the Ice Wall out, and a great combo synergy to make sure they get it. Root combo follow-up. Well executed there. Duck currently clearing up the Bruiser camp in the top lane. That will leave the Bruiser uncontested. Possibly looking for a gank here are the rest of the living members, I should say. May only just now coming back up. Treats come in. They want to get down to the bot. This obviously, with the bot lane, keep wall still standing. This isn't necessarily do or die for the member of BeefBois, but certainly they want to start getting back into this game. They really want to make a good fight on this shrine here, as the next time they fight, it could be against level 20 talents. You can see Tricky Gooses, though, getting the initiation, setting up down here. Going to town with this Sonya Gul'dan. They're going to make very rapid progress. Gazlo comes in from the side. Diablo coming in from the top. Ice Wall is going to catch out the Stukov. Are they going to have any kind of follow-up here? Looks like they're focusing their energy into Diablo. Diablo, though, gets hit by the Sleep Dart. Does drop the APOC. Didn't really sync it up with the combo well, though. And Diablo does go down. And that will not be Souls. And so Diablo is down for the count. And this should be the objective being able to be taken pretty dramalessly by the members of Tricky Gooses, and they're going to go ahead and take a siege camp for their trouble as well. Tribulation is going to throw out a bit of damage, but it's not going to make the difference here. Take a look at what happened. You can see the team came in a bit split, but that's okay. The rest of the team wants to follow up Diablo while maybe Gaz looks into the back line for something. But you can see with that Ice Wall, Diablo just has to step up, takes damage, throws out the APOC, has the Tychus follow-up, but just kind of a 4v1 situation in terms of damage trading, and that's going to be rough. Jumping in, Punisher has come in over the wall. Ice Wall has just been used. Black Arrow looking onto the keep, has shut it down. Gaz not able to hit that big Gravo Bomb combo they need. Oh, the jump hits too. Both get horrified by Nani Nani on the Gul'dan. That is Diablo going down. Tribulation going to be able to get away with 300 health thereabouts. But now the Punisher turning its attention onto the core. Still has about a third of its health left. There's the big jump. Are they going to have the follow-up damage this time? They have baited towards the mid-keep. That is a good play, getting some damage on it. The shields, however, are down, and with the Wrath of Berserker Sonya, this could absolutely just be massive. The damage is just so hard and heavy into this core, and it's going to be enough to secure it, I think. And Sonya now does go down 7%, 2%. There we go. Let's take a look at that core rush once again here. You can see that they got the shields down, and once they did, Sonya just going ham on that core with the Wrath doing so much damage to it. Finally does go down here, getting hit by the Tychus, by everything really, but with that core down to 15%, there was just no saving it. And that is going to take us into the postgame. That core went down fast, and man, Tricky Goose has put the gas on in that game. Very, very well done by Tricky Gooses. Looked dominant, frankly. I think there were some misplays that if BeefBois is able to clean up, such as some of those sunk cost fallacies we talked about, I think they could have a better fighting chance in the next game. They are going to need to start winning some fights, but we'll see if they can do that. In the meantime, though, we're going to take a brief break. And so, Chloe and I will be right back. Isn't that right, you sleepy little kitten? Right back. Stay tuned, everyone. Thank you so very much for watching. Alright, welcome back to Nexus Gaming Series. DB Smiley here. Tricky Gooses looking really, really strong. Game number 1, we're going to go Dragon Shire for game number 2. As chosen once again by BeefBois, choosing to stick with that map pick. See if they can do a bit better here as we move into the draft. And, Just what a great showing by Nana Ni in that last game. Wanted the spotlight. Just excellent play on that Gul'dan. Also wanted to call out Duck's Sonya play. Just really, really strong. But we once again see the Chromie going to be banned out there. Take a look at those Season 10 stats from Duck as we once again have a DC actually. Well, turns out I was wrong about who picked the map because Duck did it again. Duck did it again. Okay, so it was, in fact, Tricky Gooses who picked Dragonshire. But looking like we're gonna need a second to get reset up. But with that, gonna be do have Duck back in. Should be able to get back into the draft. Take 2 this time. I wonder if they'll ban out the Chromie. Duck, of course, I don't think was actually expected to play tonight, according to what he's saying, but just various reasons is doing so. So we'll hopefully get back into the game in just a second. While we have a second. So Duck is moving to off lane this season. Did play that tank role last season. Lot of tank Uther for the note. But here we go into the draft. Tricky Gooses versus BeefBois. Why didn't my scores update? That's why they didn't update. Okay. Forgot to turn on sync match score. Anyway, Tricky Gooses up 1-0 in this series. Looking to close it out. BeefBois need to make a comeback. Gonna need to look a lot stronger, I think, on this map. We'll see if they can do it. Tricky Gooses looked really good in that last game. BeefBois, of course, can't expect the Chromie ban. What are they gonna ban out? It is that Sylvanas. Played in the last game by Birdie. Very, very well at that. Chromie gonna get banned out. While we're waiting for the next ban to come, we can take a look. The not on the 5-4 on that Gul'dan last season, I should say, but looking pretty good. Zul'jin once again banned out here, as is the Hanzo. Smart Killer, an exceptional Hanzo player, so that is very much a respect ban. Jumping straight onto the Hogger is Tribulation. We did not see it in the last game. We'll see it now. I believe it was banned out. Next 2 picks to come. Brightwing, always a popular pick on this map. Key, grabbing the healer early. And then you have Tassadar. Tassadar does bring good poke, good wave clear on this map. Not the absolute best at team fighting, but by no means a slouch. Obviously, the wall can always be a valuable tool if you have the rest of the team able to do something with it. There is the Garrosh Ming, so that tells me that BeefBois really want to make sure they can control space. They're willing to give up a little bit of wave clear to do so. As I believe this is our first Garrosh. Yeah, this is our first Garrosh match of the night. Let's take a look at how Garrosh fared last season. 41% popularity, pretty popular. Middling win rate though. Li Ming, kind of below average win rate, still very popular. 7 KDA, not bad. Of course, Ming generally going to hang back, play a bit safer. Stukov banned out by the members of Tricky Gooses, not wanting the disengage and the CC support that he can bring in the hands of Root Beer Guy. Tychus going to be the ban. Was picked up last time by BeefBois, not wanting to play against it here. May is available. They could go right back to that if that's where their comfort lies on the side of Tricky Gooses. Speak of the devil and the devil shall appear. That's right, May is Satan, if you didn't know this. Duck jumping onto the Rexar, always a strong pick on this map. Two more picks to come. They need their healer. They need another damage. Uther, Greymane. Aggressive, but I like it. There is a concern of, they need to make sure they don't take too much poke damage from the Tassadar, as Uther doesn't have great long-term sustain, and this map can result in some pretty long brawls, but they have just absolute tons of kill pressure. I mean, that Greymane Li Ming is just a classic kill. Nana Ni going on to the Alarak. That is an aggressive choice into the Uther, as usually Uther can mitigate out a lot of the damage if the reflexes are fast enough. Guardian Ancient Kings is actually pickable here because of the Alarak, I would say. I think Cleanse is the safer pick, but I mean, you can give the armor off the Poly. You give the armor off the May Stun. Give the Alarak off the Alarak Silence. I'd at least consider it here if you're worried more about mitigating burst damage rather than about necessarily being able to escape. But we'll see. I'm a big fan of Guardian Ancient Kings. I think it's quite good. But of course, Cleanse is the more universal thing. And with the way Uther will be able to get auto attacks off, Cleanse will have a pretty short cooldown. But we'll see what build. I'm interested in what build Root Beer Guy goes here. But excited for game 2. As we said, Tricky Gooses did win game number 1. Taking a look at the standings as we load in here. Tricky Gooses has picked up that first point. Wanting to join, though, Xanthite and Sky 5 in the domination. We'll see if they get there as we jump into the game. On the left side, once again, it is the Goose's most tricky. Go ahead and introduce them. It's going to be Duck on Rexar. We're going to have Nana Ni on Alarak. Key, it's going to be on Brightwing. Urban DM on May. And Birdie on the Tassadar. And I can tell you right now, Nana Ni Alarak, not fun to play against. But on the right side, having to figure out how to deal with it, it's going to be BeefBois. Tribulation on Hogger, Root Beer Guy on Uther, Smart Killer on the Greymane, Albatox on Li Ming, and Sexy Exy gonna be on the Garrosh. Level 1 talents, telekinesis range coming out from... Excuse me, telekinesis cooldown, forgive me, coming out from the Alarak. Brightwing going with the Hyper Shift. Looking now for the Alarak. Here's the engage. Stun combo comes in. Nana Ni takes an absolute truckload of damage there. And a much more auspicious start on the side of BeefBois. Getting that Alarak damage out. Now Garrosh stepping up. Does back up because of the May AoE, but finds the Tassadar. That said, there is double silence there with the Polymorph and the Discord Strike. It's going to allow them to chunk Garrosh out a bit, but Garrosh the Beefy Boy, hard to kill at this point in the game. Uther does get hit by a silence there. Did go into the Q build on the side of Uther, so wanted to make sure they have that extra range as well as the significantly, I mean, widely reduced mana cost. Keep an eye on this top lane, always important. Actually, Tribulation doing a good job getting some damage onto the Rexar, bypassing the Misha there. Rexar has dropped the tap. Garrosh kind of hovering in the mid. Oh, a little bit of an awkward throw here and might get engaged on. Needs to be careful. Here comes the telekinesis. Garrosh is low. Li Ming, though, throws an orb out. Should be able to walk away. Could have been a bad situation for Sexy Xe, but does manage to get away from that. They tried to go for the throw onto Mei, like maybe throw Mei over the wall, and ended up just not having the range, so Mei just landed right in front of the wall again. Either way, Garrosh currently holding the point down here. Ming has rotated mid to counter-soak the Tassadar. We're going to keep our attention down here as Greymane getting hit there by the Discord Strike. Li Ming rotating back in now. Mei does get thrown over the wall towards that Bruiser Camp access hallway. And Ming now having joined, they're pushing up their Siege Giants. Opportunity to make something happen here. Alarak is stepping up pretty aggressively. I like where Ming is placing his orbs, making sure to get max value there. Garrosh does find Carpe Diem. The wall does not manage to separate out the Garrosh. That said, Garrosh now is low. There's the Polymorph. Slows are coming in. Going to prevent him from walking away for the time being. Good attempt, but nothing really came of it yet. But up here in the top, Tribulation does find the Rexar kill. I wanted to check on the solo lane, but there was just so much going on bottom. It's hard to see what was going on. But, ooh, Alarak getting thrown under the towers here. Alarak getting thrown under towers, chasing the Li Ming. Good job there by BeefBois. Getting a counter kill, and can they get this Carpe Diem kill too? They're actually going to go for Task. Didn't quite land the stun follow, but it's still going to be enough. What an excellent little series there for BeefBois after losing their solo laners. Let's take another look at that. As you can see, the Alarak got separated, got picked off there, and then kind of a good chase just preventing Tricky Goose's... Well, actually, no. Tricky Gooses re-engaged that. My bad. It was a really good flank there by the mounted Garrosh getting onto the Tassadar. Worked out very, very nicely for them. Down here in the bottom, though, Tricky Gooses have reclaimed the bottom point. Uther currently patrolling the mid. We do have Hogger currently sitting on the point doing the little whirlwind dance. Rexar holding it. Nobody really going to be able to step up the channel. But that said, it's a bit of a disadvantageous split in the bottom here right now. Although now here comes Garrosh. Can they get this Alarak? He is a bit isolated. The telekinesis didn't land. They managed to get on Carpe. No, but the Brightwing State comes in with the ice block with Carpe having less than 20% health. My goodness, and manages to get away. Let's take a look at that again when we can. Make sure nothing else breaks out here. And that was 20 health from Carpe. The ice block, the Brightwing Z, absolutely crucial to getting out of there. Ooh, now Alarak, though, getting flipped over. But the Garrosh is so low. Needs to be careful. There's the Discord Strike. Hits onto two. But here comes the Tassadar. Maybe looking to interrupt Nanani with a nice little juke to get out of that one. Man, BeefBois, they're keeping the pressure on. They haven't been able to get a kill just yet. But they've gotten close. Garrosh stepping onto the point, making sure the counter cap can't happen. Nanani tries to get onto Li Ming. Li Ming turning around the damage, but Tassadar does find the kill there. Really good series. Little bit of a miss combo there, but not too bad. Alarak currently sitting at 97 sages, and of course always important to keep an eye on that. Hogger and Misha doing their little fight up top. Garrosh making sure to get the mid-soak. When Li Ming died, she had been the person to rotate away to grab that mid-soak, so someone else needing to do it. Leaving Uther and Grey to clean up the bottom. Siege Camp has been grabbed here by Tricky Gooses. They're going to go mid-soak. They might, you think, invade the other Siege Camp here. Ming has started it. Bottom is being capped, though. This will make the objective red. Tassadar probably going to have to hover in the middle at least until they know where Li Ming is. No, Tassadar is going to go ahead and come down. There's the Ice Wall as level 10 has been picked in and popped. We have the Counter Strike from Alarak. We have Blink Heal from Brightwing, Archon from Tassadar, and Release the Boars from Rexar. Ooh, as there's a combo onto Garrosh. He has to buy some time away, not walk into the root, as Garrosh has gone into the Warlord's Challenge. We have the Repulsion from Li Ming, Cursed Bullet, Divine Storm coming out from Uther rather than the Shield. So looking for more of an offensive CC kind of setup. Certainly, if they can get a flip onto someone with the Uther stuns, they should be able to get quite a bit of damage there. And recognizing that very well, Tricky Gooses is not giving that opportunity. Alarak does step up. He's looking for the Li Ming. There's the Counter-Strike, but they get the Li Ming with the Counter-Strike before the CC combo is able to land. Now Smork went back in, cut off by the wall. Is he going to be able to get away? There's the Ice Wall, and that could be absolutely brutal. Are they going to be able to get both these kills? They get the first. Can they get the Garrosh as well? They do not. Still, though, a good showing all the same there. As Key channels the point, take a look at that replay. And see that they throw Alarak into the back, and he says, I'm not in here with you, you're in here with me, to Li Ming. Gets the pop. Uther with the Divine Storm to disengage. A little bit of miscommunication as Greymane went back in. They get caught out by the Ice Wall, almost get Garrosh, but certainly will be able to get the Greymane there. Well done by Tricky Gooses on that counter engage. Good ult. Greymane hovering around the Bruiser. Gonna go ahead and start it. Bruiser has been taking the bot. We'll see how much Tricky Goose wants to push up with it here. Ice Wall coming in. That gate is low. Are they going to try to go for this? Root Beer guy is going to be able to get out. Just barely, though. And trying to clear this lane up, but they don't really have a ton of wave clear. Greymane is far and away their best wave clear. But he was currently clearing the Bruiser. Now going to be able to rotate in. Sexy Exy wants to find someone. Gets a slow there onto Task. Now the Discord Strike, though, going to prevent him from throwing anyone here. That 32 armor keeping him alive for the time being, but there's the Polymorph. Does try to throw out the Warlord's Challenge, it looks like, but got picked off there. And now it looks like with May going onto the back, they might be trying to find another kill. No, they're just going to go ahead and make sure they get as much damage on for as they can. Oh, but Root Beer guy says, hey, you're going to come out of the ice block. I don't think so. Uther says, you ain't coming out. It's 6 more weeks of winter, bitch. Well done there. Meanwhile, Tribulation does get the soak up top. In that analogy, I should note, May is a groundhog. And if you don't think that makes sense, you will not like this stream. By the way, it does not make sense, but if that bothers you, you will not like this stream. Anyway. Siege Camp picked up here. Good job getting a fort. First fort actually heading over to Root Beer guy. And now hovering the mid is Hogger, and there's no one here to interrupt, and so this should be a Dragonite heading over to the side of BeefBois. Let's see what they do with it. Currently just getting the mid soak, but gonna walk it down bot. Rest of the team prepping the lane. They do still have a couple Siege Giants that are low. Garrosh wanted to step up, caught out a bit by the Force Wall. Now the Ice Wall come out, being used more or less as a Void Person to secure their getaway so they can get behind the wall. Wall fell very quick. Of course, this Dragonite aided and abetted by, well, now only one Siege Giant, but that still always makes a huge difference. Garrosh looking for the flip onto someone. They need to be careful. They don't want to damage enemy heroes willy-nilly here. Garrosh actually just doing that, so he's going to take some tower shots back up for a second. This fort, however, is certainly doomed. And so now the question is, what will BeefBois do with this? Garrosh still hovering mounted, maybe looking for a throw here. Gonna flank onto the back line. May separated out by the Divine Storm. Here comes Sexy X. He throws Alarak in. But now Sexy X separated out from the rest of the team. Throws out the Warlord's Challenge. He's going to blow himself unstoppable to walk away. The counter-strike, no, but there is the telekinesis. And now it's Greymane caught out in the ice wall. He's going to go back in to try to get a trade, but I don't know if that's going to work out for them. The telekinesis isn't going to be enough to catch Greymane. He does Dark Flight out of there, but the slow has landed. There's the Discord Strike combo. He is going to be able to escape, however. And I like Garrosh going into that backline. I don't know if Alarak is the target they want to throw there. I know they desperately want to reset that sadism, but I don't know. Maybe even just throw the rest of the team further away from Mei, try to isolate her further. Hard to say what the right call there is. I mean, there's just such good counter engage from Tricky Gooses. As they pick up another kill, and they're going to go ahead and take the bruiser. Keep in mind, though, that despite the kill deficit, we are even on XP, and in fact, BeefBois up in structure count right now, as top and bottom fort are down for Tricky Gooses. Garrosh in a position to make sure his team can zone out the bruisers. Gonna let Mei walk forward. I doubt gonna be able to, no, now gonna try to flank onto the back. Throws the Brightwing, does bait kind of some energy from the enemy team. Mei still stepping up here, trying to be annoying. Tries to slide on for the steal, but now the question is, did Carpe Diem maybe pull the lever too hard there, and in fact did so, but that said, Hogger, who's kind of trying to 1v3, gets separated, didn't turn onto the Mei with the rest of the team. Brightwing has Z'd in onto Alarak, aggressive decision, and might pay for it as there's a big combo onto the Brightwing. It does secure the kill. Uther does go down as well. Of course, the Ghost heals will be able to come out. No, excuse me, the Brightwing did not go down. That was a blink heal that made Brightwing disappear. And so actually, that was a very good job there by Tricky Gooses, keeping the Brightwing up. Good heads-up play by Key to escape. Well done, and now gonna look to invade this Siege Giant. Rexxar currently clearing the bot lane, but now gonna turn attention to the invade of this Siege Giant, as they want to bring everyone in for it in case a fight breaks out. Li Ming needs to be careful here. Task wall to prevent the invade, or the counter invade, I should say. But in leaving that Bruiser Camp bot, they are definitely going to take quite a bit of damage. As the first tower goes down, that means if BeefBois does get a dragon, they're going to be able to push in a lot more aggressively here. Siege Giant's going to be put into lane bottom as well. Garrosh thinking about stepping up the channel point, doesn't want to show just yet. Now stepping up to do that, but here come the members of Tricky Gooses. See what they do here onto the map. Looks like they might be going top, possibly looking at this Hogger. Oh, and now they see where Hogger is. Hogger, they're going to back up. Misha in the bush, able to interrupt if anyone tries to start the channel. Mei is going to cap the top, I should say. In the bottom, Greymane Uther clean up the lane. Keep in mind, there is a Kata now moving in both bot and top. That every third wave catapult that comes out. Garrosh in the bush, separates out the Mei, and that is enough to secure the kill. That was absolutely stellar. Follow up there, Sexy Exy. Just gets the Mei, separates. She didn't even have a chance to blow the ice block. Just gets absolutely deleted. Great follow-up. And that will lead to a Dragonite being picked up here. As looks like Tricky Goose is just going to back up for the time being. Let's take a look once again at that pickoff. The Garrosh was right in that bush at the right time. Mei just not even expecting Garrosh to be there, or maybe expecting to survive all the same, but the stun combo lands with the help of Uther, and Mei just ceases to exist. Great combo there. As now it looks like Rexxar is running for his life, but the stun with the end of the fray from Uther. There's the Warlord's challenge. Throws Rexxar back away. There's the feigned death, just trying to buy time, but this is delaying the inevitable. Brightwing comes in for the Z, but oh, Li Ming might actually get in trouble if she gets kicked out of the DK at this point. The mid fort is down, so you got big passive XP pushing in the direction. Oh, but Hogger might get caught out here. No, does manage to escape. Oh, his task? No, good telekinesis. Good peel telekinesis there by Alarak. You'll see the stats at the end of the game. I prefer to keep talents up. The stats don't tell you what's likely to happen. The talents tell you what's likely to happen. Level 20 just kicked. Talents are staying up. Ooh, Uther gets telekinesis in, but there's the big Divine Storm follow-up. Oh, did Warlord's Challenge just go off? I think it did. While May was in that ice block. Brightwing Z not able to land in time, though. May gets picked off, and Rexar just now coming back up. So that is a big, big stagger. Can they get this keep down, though? They're trying to poke it down. They can play Protect the Catapult, but now wanted to back up because of those boars. Health bars are a bit low. Greymane getting focused on here. Does manage to survive for the time being. Of course, Uther not the best sustained healer. May up, still down for 30. Oh no, Li Ming's in trouble. Good into the fray used to make sure she can get away now. Garrosh is the focus, and Garrosh goes down. I think they just maybe stayed a little bit too long, and they might pay for it in a big way. Keep in mind, Uther can die here, but I think they're going to stay on top of his ghost. Uther is going to come back into this game, and I'm pretty sure Tricky Gooses know it. The knockback, trying to buy space. That was a great knockback by Tribulation, making sure that Root Beer guy could get out of there, because you don't want to die and then immediately die. Yeah, stats are borderline meaningless in this game, so I'm just not going to ever put them up in any situation during the game.
Become the Dragon Knight and claim vengeance for myself.
Like, Brightwing's gonna have more healing than Uther this game. That doesn't tell you anything about how either player has played. Without even looking, I can tell you Brightwing will have more. Because that's just how Brightwing works. Clearing up the Bruiser camp in the bottom. Looks for the Ice Wall into Greymane. Ooh, Greymane actually gets dismounted, though, with the telekinesis. Needs to be a bit careful here. Li Ming aggressively defending. The fort goes down. That is actually the first fort of the game. Picked up by Tricky Gooses. Level 21 for both teams. Garrosh looking for the engage. Can he get the slow? Oh, the big task wall. And into the back goes Hogger. He is polyed. Hogger has taken... Was that no control? That was no control there. Was that what he just used? No, he did not. Okay. I thought that might have been no control. I think that was just the standard pinball play. Fair enough. But now, both teams kind of hovering around each other, recognizing that whoever makes the next mistake might lose, but recognizing, oh, hey, they're top. Let's just go take the bot keep. This is the right play at the right time. Ming just going to walk up. Pew, pew! Gotcha. Augur currently hovering in the mid, just trying to get vision of any rotations. Uther in the triangle at the moment. Little bit of separation here is a bit concerning for me from Rupert Guy. I do see the kitten cams, but I don't do kitten cams during the game. So I will put it up. I'll put up kitten cam twice in the gap between games. And managing to get that top channel and get the Dragonite here are the members of BeefBois. And now with an opportunity to end, they're going to just run this right bottom and, you know, try to right-click the core, square in the dick till it don't work no more. Uther stepping up very aggressively, takes a ton of damage, Ice Wall. But the Dragon... moving on to the core, wisely kicks the Alarak away. By the way, Alarak with 148 sadism. That is actually insane. Here comes the no control, trying to truck out damage. Alarak going to try to look for a kill. There's the Divine Storm used. Alarak now with the counter strike. Didn't actually get procced, and the core drops. And there you go. So, gonna be Tricky Gooses dropping that one to BeefBois. BeefBois did a really good job there from the mid-game onward, making sure they got the pick. The Tricky Goose is going to have to clutch this one out if they want to get the win. Neither team going to get a domination victory tonight. So we take a look at those post-game stats. See, I mean, Li Ming was far and away the most damage. Alarak did well. But, I mean, yeah, like 105 damage. That's insane. Same with the Greymane. But they also had the more aggressive comp, so that's kind of what you would expect to see. From there, take a look at those talent choices. Strong showing by BeefBois. They brought it back, and honestly, I mean, while it was close in the kill count, that was probably the only part of that map that looked close. Tricky Gooses hung around until kind of like the 13-16 window, where a couple big picks. It just felt like every kill BeefBois got, they got so much more value off it. Kind of a flip of the last game in a lot of ways. And so with that, we're going to go to a map 3. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned, everyone, and thank you for watching. All right, welcome back, everyone. X's Gaming Series. DD Smiley here. We're heading to a map 3 between Tricky Gooses and BeefBois. It is going to be the Battlefield of Eternity. Ironically, a map that doesn't tend to last too long. But we are in the lobby. We're getting ready to go. We should be good to go fairly soon. Making sure we have the right pick, as that has times been a factor tonight. But should be correct here. This will be the decider. We'll see who advances into a tie with Phoenix Rising Diamond into that fourth place tier. And who sticks around with Running Wild? It'll be 5th or 6th place. So I think we're good to go this time. Here we go, jumping into the draft. Everyone, say hi to Chloe while we do that. She has been such a good little girl. That's her favorite sleeping spot. I will give her plenty of pets and scritches after this is over. But here we go now. Map number 3. We've seen a bit of Chromie and a bit of Hanzo banning. We'll see if that stays. Targeting Smork. Certainly with the Hanzo. We actually do have a substitution, I should note, as Dirk, one of the subs for BeefBois, has come into the game. And it's actually going to be Tribulation, who had such a great game on that Hogger, stepping out. We hope everything's okay. I know with the weather around the country right now, that is certainly a deep concern. And Tribulation, if you're out there, we certainly are hoping you're doing okay and hope for the best. So, with that, we see the Greymane banned out. Fort Killer did earn some respect on that Greymane last game. Chromie going to be banned by BeefBois. Neither team wanted to play against that Chromie. Are they going to target Smart Killer again with that Hanzo? I haven't actually shown this stat tonight, so let me go ahead real quick and just tell you why things are the way they are in terms of that ban. No, it's not. It's the Hogger going to be banned out this time. But just to quickly show this. Pretty respectable stats there. The 5 and 3, you know, it may not look great in principle, but when you consider like who the matches were against, how the Hanzo allowed for some pretty big upsets, definitely warrants the respect. And Smart Killer known for Hanzo back even earlier, I think on, was it 2 calculated to throw? Not certain. May gonna get banned out this time. They say no Moss. No Moss on the May. Carpe Diem earning the respect ban after 2 very solid May games. Although, well, the second game, though, did get caught out a bit at times. Zuljin gonna be grabbed by Nani. It had been banned out until now. So there is that Zuljin. A good map for it with the ability to burn. Again, not a super popular hero last season. Sub 10% popularity, only 40% win rate, but still definitely going to bring the burn here. But, you know, Smart Killer going to be very, very happy to be reunited with the Hanzo. Reunited, and it feels so good. Those are all the lyrics I know to that song. Something, something, cause we understood. That's all I got. Carpe Diem jumping onto the Sonya looked really strong game 1. That splash damage, of course, very powerful. And we have a Duck Uther. So Duck actually played Uther a fair amount last season, as I recall. Taking a look here. See if I can pull that stat up for you lovely folk this evening. Only, actually, no, only 2-1. He played it a lot, I know, back in Division B when they were there. So good showing. There's the Sylvanas banned out. Was very strong in game 1. I believe it was Birdie playing that. Anna gonna be denied, not wanting to deal with that heal reduction. Makes sense with the Uther, given it's such a big opportunity cost to cast a heal. You hate for it to go to waste because of a well-timed grenade. 2 more picks to come. They don't need to hold their solo lane. They could hold their healer if they wanted, although I do think Stukov would be a very strong pick here. They're gonna go with the Brightwing. So I thought Stukov because of the physical armor, but they want to get the Brightwing Cassia going. And there is the Stuther combo. Key jumping onto Stukov. Key, a long-time Stukov player, but there's the Deathwing, and I like that from a standpoint of just being able to step up and kind of, you know, put pressure on the Brightwing. She can't polymorph. Maybe try to keep that Brightwing tucked away nice and far back. Last pick to come. It's going to be their solo laner. Is it the Leo? It is the Leo. I was thinking Leo because of the Deathwing, as well as potentially the Entomb. We'll see if there's some role swapping here, or if they do leave Dirk on that Joanna on the tank. Looks like they are. So, we are set up for game number 3. I'm excited for it. Very important matchup here. Very, very important. You got the double support to help support the Zul'jin. Tons of CC, potentially. So it's really a protect the Zul'jin comp on the side of Tricky Gooses. On the right side, a bit more kind of standard fare, standard play. You got the Cassia Hanzo. Good follow-up damage. Joe frontline. You know, she's going to be able to buy space for the team, but going to need to be cognizant when her iron skin is down. She is very vulnerable, especially when they don't really have burst healing mitigation with the Brightwing. The Brightwing doesn't have any physical armor options either. So I was surprised by that pick, honestly. Seems a bit risky to me, but we'll see if it pays off in the end as we jump here into game number 3. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Randy Gonzalez, we got a game 3. And on the left side, it is going to be those dastardly Tricky Gooses. We're going to have a Duck on Uther. We're going to have Nanani on Zul'jin. Key on Stukov. Carpe Diem on the Sonya. And Birdie on the Deathwing. Doing a little Deathwing dance. On the right side, Sexy Exy up in the top on the Leo. Moving off the tank roll for this game. Filling in for the solo lane with Tribulation out. Deathwing, or Dirk, excuse me, is going to be on Joanna tanking. Sport Killer, though, on that Hanzo. Albatox on Cassie, and Root Beer Guy going to be on that Brightwing. It is BeefBois. As both teams kind of setting up beside the lane, looking for their opportunity. It's going to be Sonya and Leo up in the top. Sonya is going with that smash build once again. Recklessness, the new hotness coming out from Zul'jin with some of the buffs that talent received. And already Dirk taking quite a bit of damage here. Rupert Guy going to drop the Z. You can afford to drop the Z because of the fact that, you know, you go Hyper Shift. It's very, like, a single minion wave gives you 21 seconds CDR. The difference, though, is you can't get 2 minion waves easily here to completely negate that. And so there's still going to be a bit more cooldown here, whereas if it were a map like Tomb or something, it would be quite a bit practically shorter. Nanani stepping up, trucking out some damage. We'll, of course, keep an eye on those Zul'jin stacks. Q build coming out from the Uther here as well for that added rage and mana efficiency. Working on this camp here, but now going to get engaged on. Joe's stepping up, wants to try to make sure they can get this camp. The camp, by the way, is actually still alive somewhere. No, it finally got finished. And Tricky Goose to step up. They get the kill, and actually with the Deathwing, they get 2. Both Joanna and Hanzo going down. Well done there. Let's take a look at that invade once again. You can see that Deathwing just stepping right up, and there's not really the tools right now to punish the Deathwing. Buys the space on a point. Joe goes for it with the Brightwing, but just gets popped. Hanzo getting finished. Brightwing barely getting out from that Flame Strike. Well done, invade on the side of Tricky Goose. Bit of an optimistic camp take, if I'm completely honest, from the members of BeefBois. And now, gonna rotate back, start working on their Bruiser camp. Cassie and Brightwing gonna do the same. Hanzo coming up as well. Joe just checking for the invade. Of course, Tricky Gooses can be one of those aggressive teams that loves to go for those early game invades. Not doing it here. But Zul'jin, 7 stacks so far. Not bad. Not shabby. Leo gonna hearthen the top. Sonya gonna set up to clear that Bruiser camp. On the other side, immediately into the burn, wants to go BeefBois. They're gonna start working on it. Here, however, comes the push in from Tricky Gooses. Again, Sonya clearing the top, Leo clearing the bot. Ooh, the Iron Skin was weighted out. Joe taking a lot of damage there. Brightwing gonna Z to throw the quick heal out. But a good chunk damage onto that Immortal. Got almost 50%. Ooh, there is some focus damage onto the Joanna, but she does manage to slip away. Still poking it down. Sonya has started to burn. She can do quite a bit. Ooh, Brightwing's in an awkward spot. Gets stunned. There's the Stukov silence. And down she goes. Nowhere to go, so they do get the kill. Halftime has, however, been kicked over. Brightwing will be up in 9 seconds. Let's see how Tricky Goose wants to play this. They're actually going to try to lock down this Leo. Leo gets away. Uther is rather low. Sonya currently clearing up the top lane, trying to find level 7 for Tricky Gooses. Tricky Goose is actually opening up a pretty sizable XP lead here in this situation. As it is going to be BeefBois getting the first objective. Are they going to get these globes? Deathwing wants to step up and be annoying. Going to take some damage and walk away from that. It is going to go bot. Sonya here already in the bottom lane. Is she going to stay here for the burn? No, she's going to start running top now for the soak, which I do think is vital. Level 7 is here for the member of Tricky Gooses. Still a bit away for BeefBois. Zul'jin did step up there, wanting to get some stacks, and you know, stacking fairly well, almost halfway done. Uther steps up, looking for Durkadurk here. Deathwing gonna zone out with that Fire Breath. There's the Polymorph on the Duck, not able to find really any follow-up damage. Smart Killer needs to be careful. Very, very low up front. There's the stun once again onto Joe. They do get the Immortal down. They actually only lose wall and 1 tower. Still the second tower standing. We'll see if we get another fight over this siege camp here in the bottom lane. Checking on the top lane. Looks like Sonya doing pretty well up there. Here comes the push in. The Polymorph preventing Uther from landing the stun. Does land it onto the Joe. There's the silence as well. Just good follow-up CC coming in here from Tricky Gooses, but haven't really been able to turn it into kills of late, although they are up 3 kills to 0 in this game. Tricky Gooses, do they want to work on this? No, they're going to look for the re-engage. Uther coming around for the flank. Looking at the Cassia. There's the stun. Can they get the kill? There's the silence. Fire Breath. Albatox does manage to get out of there. Nanani is rather low. Nanani, by the way, is halfway stacked now. As we do see that Phase Shield being the choice from Brightwing. Always good on this map, especially for the Vision. Vision is such an important tool on this map. Uther once again stepping up, looking for the flank. They find Cassia. Damage comes out. Didn't really have anything to lock down Cassia into that. Looks like Stukov maybe got the combo a little out of order there from what I can gather. But that said, Cassia steps up, does get stunned. Can they get the fall damage? She was down to almost about 100 HP there, but does manage to walk away. And I do think we're going to see some members of BeefBois have to back. That could turn into a siege, but this close to the camp time, I don't think it will. So, see now. Looks like Tricky Gooses just wants to go straight into the burn. Uther going to stall. But Zul'jin and Stukov, two pretty good burners here. Stukov base auto attack damage is no slouch. And they almost have halftime. Uther, level 10s, by the way, are here for Tricky Gooses, not here for BeefBois. So it's very risky for BeefBois to be hanging around here, as there's the leap. It is Divine Shield this time, and they get the leap on the Brightwing, and they get the kill. Great job by Tricky Gooses. Uther going to blow the D shield just to make sure that he can walk away. Tricky Gooses doing that well, and they do get the Immortal with the level 10 advantage. And BeefBois, I think they needed to just walk away and soak, honestly, because now they still don't have level 10s. They should pick it up here in just a second, though. This Immortal will come top. Sonya and Leo in the bottom. We have Entomb, Dragon's Arrow, Bless Shield, Blink Heal. Cassia, will she go Valkyrie? No, it is the Ball Lightning. Makes sense. There's effectively 4 melee on the other side. Especially if you can isolate the Stukov. It's really powerful against him due to his lack of movement abilities. But here comes the Cataclysm moving into the backline. That said, getting turned on very quickly and lost 2 scales of health extremely fast. Here comes the Ball Lightning, moving in for Durgadurk, who does not have the D-Shield. It came up just a fraction of a second after he died. And so that is the first kill, actually, for the members of BeefBois. But that said, Leo has been killed in the bottom by Sonya. So Carpe DM getting the better of the 1v1 in that situation. You can see that despite the death up in the top lane from Uther, they want to go straight into this siege camp, and they're going to be able to get it as the members of BeefBois instead going to go for their bruiser. Deathwing currently airborne. I don't think I mentioned we'd see Taz Dingo, Flailing Swipe, and the upgraded. Oh, what? Wait. What? I didn't even see Brightwing up there. Did I just miss Brightwing was up there and I wasn't paying attention? Very possible. Brightwing, I guess, solo soaking the lane up there. Didn't really have anywhere to escape to and does go down. And now an aggressive push onto this top keep wall. Brightwing is alive now. Dragon's Arrow does not connect. Tries to get onto Not On Knee. There is the Flailing Swipe to buy space. Can they get the Entomb onto the Deathwing? Looks like Deathwing has just enough move speed to get away. Khazra has finished up this wall down here in the bottom. Tricky Goose is going to be able to go ahead and get their Bruiser camp into the lane. Are they going to go for the Sonya? Bless Shield's available in 3, 2, 1. No, I think Cassia maybe showed just a bit early for them to be able to have a chance there. And now here comes the flank attempt. 5v4 as Leo is not here. Uther tries to find the stun. Not quite able to get it. Leo has now rotated in. The Immortals are up. Both teams could just trade burn here, but Duck gets the stun. There's a big leap onto the backline. Hits 2. Durgadurk in the middle of the enemy team. Tries to get the Brightwing Z, but Brightwing actually getting interrupted out of it. Leo now stepping up. Gonna have to Spooky Ghost walk out of there. Here comes Cataclysm looking to re-engage this. Good disengages here by both teams to make sure they don't lose anyone. Uther currently stalling the burn, is alone, needs to be careful. Keeping an eye on these Immortals.
Be warned, allies. I move to new ground.
There's an engage onto Cassia. Ooh, Dragon's Arrow, though. Good disengage, good escape. But this is Tricky Gooses now in a great burning position. But there's the Entomb, does catch on to Stukov. The Flailing Swipe tries to buy the space, but Carpe Diem, who went whirlwinding in, actually tried to chase to get the self-sustain and ended up dropping. And now the Ball Lightning spreading. D-Shield has to come out. The Ball Lightning still does spread the Stukov and the Deathwing, chunking out a bit of damage. So now this should be an opportunity for BeefBois to get some channel, but look at the size of this wave top. It is something I think they'll want to pay attention to before too long, as you see Smork and Albatox starting to work on that burn. Uther in the bush, now stepping forward, tries to buy space, gets the stun there onto Hanzo. Actually a bit low health, needs to be careful. Meanwhile, down here, Deathwing using the breath. Zul'jin stepping up very aggressively to try to finish that Immortal, not able to do so. And now it's Uther. Tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it did not even matter. But man, look at this top lane. 2 Katas. Someone has to deal with this now. And it is going to be Leo. What are they going to be able to do to push in? Sonya, by the way, is still in the bot soaking. Level 16 on the horizon for the member of Tricky Gooses. They've definitely soaked quite a bit better this game. But still, BeefBois is in this. Getting their first fort would help tremendously. Oh, Root Beer Guy is taking tower shots! Oh, and did some damage to the enemy hero. Maybe threw out the poly, did it. Oh, and Sonya comes in onto the leap. Almost catches that Smork. Dirk is trying to run away. This is a full-on retreat, and Dirk is not going to get out of there. And so that was 2 big kills. Take a look at what happened there. Uther currently cleaning up the resort. Whoa, you can see it. The root comes in. Brightwing throws out the cleanse. Looks like she threw an auto attack out onto an enemy hero. Gets caught out by the tower, and then Sonya comes in out of nowhere on that leap with the Cataclysm. Helps secure a second kill. Well done there. Now pushing up. They got about half, 40% of that keeps health. Thereabouts. Now going to back up. And I feel like Tricky Gooses has done a good job of knowing when to leave this game. And, oh, but Key does get caught out by the Hanzo arrow. Gotta be careful about running a straight line, but the counter engage does keep Key alive for the time being. That said, there's the D-Shield with the leap used to make sure they can get away. There's the Flailing Swipe. Can they keep the chase going? There's the Polymorph that's going to enable the slow. Bless Shield comes out, and it looks like Stukov does finally go down. Deathwing drops into the middle of the enemy team. Albatox and Smork Killer are both low, so I think BeefBois might just want to take what they got and go home with it, and that is what they're going to do. Bottom fort should be able to fall here in a second if they want it. Are they going to go for the Bruiser Camp? No, they're going to go for the fort first. I think that's the right call. And they'll actually technically be up on structures, although, again, you have to take a look at that top keep health, how low it is. They are going to go ahead and take this Bruiser with Stukov in the penalty box for another 15 seconds. I'm fine, Majesty. I actually like the length it is, frankly. I did test it out longer and shorter. Alright. Bruiser Camp going to be taken to the top. Here we go. Both teams setting up. It is burn positions. Both teams could be aggressive offensively in terms of burning. Right now it looks like Tricky Goose's slight upper hand. Actually, no, I take that back. It is, in fact, BeefBois getting a lead there. Although they lost it the last second. Tricky Goose's got enough damage. There's the stun on the Leo. Leap came in, and actually he dies before he can break out of his spooky ghost. But there's the big Dragon's Arrow turnaround onto the Uther, and Uther is down. He'll be able to throw out some ghost heals, but obviously not level 20. He will not be back soon. That said, they still have a healer. Though this is a 4v4 that is, I think, doable. But they are going to retreat. They do want to clear up. But meanwhile, while we were talking about that, top keep did go down to that catapult. And so Tricky Gooses, who felt like they led for so long in this game, now potentially on the back foot. They're going to face a Immortal in this bot lane. It's going to have about half shields. We'll see what they can do with it. All right. Leap comes in. They want the aggressive engage off the leap. They get the root onto the Hanzo. Smart Killer trying to run from the Sonya. There comes the Blink Heal. Polymorph tries to turn around onto Sonya. Sexy Exy is low. Here comes the Cataclysm trying to zone out the members of BeefBois. They're going to run through it, but they are low HP. They need to back up here. And that will allow this Immortal to be burned down pretty dramalessly. They should be able to easily save this keep now. Good Cataclysm there by Birdie to just go for kind of the zoning play. Looks like now running up to that top siege camp are the members of BeefBois on the way to level 20. Slight lead for what feels like the first time this game. Siege camp going to be taking bot. Bottom fort is, of course, forfeit here. But that is going to force someone to have to clear the core at some point. What do BeefBois want to do here? Do they want to look for the aggressive engage? Do they want to try to defend their bot fort? We'll see. Backs come in. So they're not going to get the engage regardless. There we go. Bottom siege camp going to be cleaned up. Let's see what BeefBois wants to do here. Not really much on the map. This is one of those situations, though, where when you're racing to 20, you want to try to get what soak you can. On the other hand, Tricky Goose is desperate to look for the engage before that level 20 hits. And with the lane so pushed in, it's going to be hard for BeefBois to find that soak. They might be content to just let the passive XP take them the rest of the way there. Leo going to come up, get some of these globes, and then expect BeefBois to try to get aggressive with the 20 advantage as soon as they have it. Should tick over any second now. Bruiser camp, though, is going to be grabbed by Tricky Gooses. Level 20 just now kicking in. Here come the snap picks. They want this. Joe steps on. Doesn't get there before the camp is captured. But there's the Hanzo Arrow play of the game. They get the combo onto Uther. And Uther goes down just before level 20. And they manage to find the Sonya with the 20 advantage as well. And this might be the opportunity to win the game on the side of BeefBois and possibly take this series. They had to bring in a sub here for game number 3. But so far, it has worked out here late in the game. These games have just been so back and forth. Feel like they're bounced on nice edge, but there's the root onto Cassie. Is it going to be enough to secure a kill? No, it is not. Keep in mind, it's a 3v5 situation, but the Zul'jin is fully stacked, can truck out so much damage. I mean, 50 stacks there. That is just a ton. There we go. Leo just going to go clean up this bottom, try to preserve this fort. Rest of the team is burning this Immortal. It is going to push down the bot lane. It's going to have quite a bit of shield, actually full shielded so far, and that doesn't look like that's going to change. So this is a rough situation. That is a very low health keep to try to hold back a full health, full shield Immortal. But they're going to have to do just that. They do have the Zul'jin. They can make it happen. Oh, Joe, is she maybe a bit too far forward here? Once that Iron Screen falls off, she might be risky. Oh, there's the root combo on the Leo. Divine Shield comes out. Leap onto the back. Gets onto the Brightwing. She does blink heal out of that. Hanzo, though, gets caught out by, in the Cataclysm, excuse me. And actually, oh my goodness, what an excellent fight here by the members of Tricky Gooses. They turned that around so hard, but they've lost the Zul'jin. So the question is, can they save their core without that Zul'jin? We'll keep a close eye. With the Sonya, yeah, I think they're fine. I just realized, like, oh, yeah, they have Sonya. They're fine. They're obviously not going to save their keep, but they will very, very much save their core. They're fine. And now, what do they do with this? The 5-man advantage. Do they try to end? It's going to be tricky. Leo will be up in 15. By the time they get across the map, the enemy team will be coming up. It'll be hard even for them to just run keep here. They might have to play the long game. Let's see how much real core damage they take. 13%, and that's going to be it. So 13% on their core. 8 seconds, Hanzo coming back up. Take a look at the replay of that fight there. Can see Joe was just a little bit forward. I think what happened, the Hanzo arrow missed trying to go for the engage. They weren't able to get the finish because of that. The D-shield landed. The big AoE D-shield actually was the choice by Uther rather than the respawn. That mitigated out pretty much all the engage damage, and then it was just such quick turnaround kills. Great, great job there by the members of Tricky Gooses. But they're in a situation where they have to do that more than once. Big push going to come into this top lane from BeefBois. What do they want to do? Are we going to get a fight here? Here comes the rotation. Sonya goes in for the leap. They get the stun on the Hanzo, and he just gets instant deleted. Once again, the AoE Bless Shield. They're looking for more here. Leo is going to spooky Ghost Walk out of this one, but doesn't have another Ghost Walk and might go down. And now it's a 5v3 situation, and I think with the Sonya and the Zul'jin, they're going to look to try to end. And it looks like Brightwing has disconnected. Nope, reconnected there. But man, Hanzo just got deleted. 404 Hanzo not found. Take another look at that blow up. Actually, nope, we missed it. Sorry. Caster did not time the replay button well. Sorry. So, though, a chance to get a full shield and immortal. Keep in mind, this will go through the bottom lane. By the way, speaking of bottom lane, there it is. I don't want to look away from the fight too long, but it's worth noting there are now 3 Katas stacked up and a 4th on the way. But once again, the leap isolating out a member of BeefBois. That said, there's the Entomb. Here comes the Dragon's Arrow. It's going to hit that time. Only lands on the Carpe. Good spreading, and the health bars are falling on the side of BeefBois. They lose 2. They lose 3. And despite getting almost everything they wanted there, having the great arrow coming in, good disengage by Tricky Gooses to avoid spreading that stun, and then the re-engage. And that might end the game right there. But that said, we got to keep an eye on this core. It is 40%, 35. Are they going to kill it in time? It's going to take no more damage, 28%. And so despite getting those 3 kills, not immediately able to win this Immortal. That said, I don't know if BeefBois can afford to be up here right now, and I think they can afford to take an Immortal through their bot lane. I know they're trying to just buy some space. Leo is alive now. They do have a functional 3v3 if they want it, but I don't think they do. While we wait for the Immortal to respawn, let's take another look at that fight. You can see they get the separation on the Cassia. She gets the heals. Here comes the arrow, but a kind of last-second little spread there makes it only hit the Uther. And just a really good turnaround, getting 2, getting 3 kills. Well done. I like the transition length the way it is. I appreciate everyone watching. My chat box isn't a suggestion box. I appreciate you all. The transition is gonna stay because I like it. Leo maybe caught out a bit here, has the spooky ghost. Iron Skin, when it falls, Joanna is gonna be a concern. Sonya comes in with the leap. Durkadurk is separated out. Brightwing throws out the heal there. Durkadurk, are they going to be able to get away? They do with the help of that invisible friends. There's the Hanzo arrow. Gets a stun. The keep is falling. The core is fully shielded. Sexy Exy, though, is going to go down here, and that is a big kill, as that may enable the core to go down. They're starting to move up, are the members of Tricky Gooses. They want this core. The shields have now fallen. The Immortal is about to drop, but there's the Dragon's Breath, 60%. At this point in the game with the scaling, the core is not going to last long, and there it goes. And Tricky Gooses, they weather the storm, and they come back, and they do well. All right, well, Tricky Gooses, man, strong showing by them in Game 1. Game 2, struggled a bit. Game 3 was a battle. And that was a really, really good Battlefield of Eternity game. And just a great showing by them. We're going to see if we can do a post-game interview with a member of Tricky Gooses, so I don't want to spend too much time talking about it now. We'll be right back. Thank you all so much for watching. Here we go. All right, welcome back to our next gaming series, and I am joined by. Wait, you're not a goose. You're not.
Correct.
You're a duck. What? I've been lied to this whole time.
The trick, there are no gooses on the team.
Indeed. Well, obviously, congrats on the win. And I'm just gonna ask, how you guys feeling after that one?
Good that we won. Those were some tough games.
Yeah. I mean, you guys had a lot thrown at you there. Looked like the first game. I thought you guys did. Thought you guys did fairly well in game one. Looked fairly dominant, frankly. Had control of the map. I can't remember if you lost the fort. Yeah, maybe one. But
Yeah, I think we traded top and
Yeah.
bottom at some point.
Yeah, but otherwise, just a really strong showing. What was working so well for you in that first game?
I think game one we had a game plan already there, and we got kind of what we wanted without anything super disruptive. A little less so later on in the match.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the second game, Dragonshire. So Dragonshire, it felt like you guys were able to get some kills early at some pretty key points, but it never felt like you were able to kind of get much off of them. Like in the early game, where were you kind of having trouble kind of turning those kills into macro? What do you think that was?
As Rexar, I lose until 13 versus Augur, and he actually won a build that actually makes him even more dominant early, and then probably at that point still wins at 13. So I really couldn't do anything versus him top, so it relied on the 4-man just dominating the whole time. And if there was anything let up from them, then BeefBois got to put the pedal to the metal on us, and it made it a constant uphill battle.
Yeah, it was a good showing by them, and obviously a good job closing out the game. There were a couple of pickoffs there towards the end. Some people in chat mentioned there might be like a miscommunication. Was that a miscommunication, or maybe just like kind of a bit too split on rotations? I was kind of wondering like what your thoughts were on the end there.
Probably a little bit of combination of the two. I know I got caught on bottom. I forgot to take into account how quick Augur can jump on you with his ult. Otherwise, I thought I'd be out. I'm used to playing the Augur, so not used to having it against me enough. And I am actually, even as captain, I'm now the permanent sub for our team for this season. So I haven't been playing with everyone enough. And because of that, it kind of made it hard for us. I guess I was making some calls that were contradicting some things at times, because I'm normally the shot caller. And then just me not being gelled enough with everyone. But it worked out in the end, I guess.
All right. Well, took it to a game 3, Battlefield of Eternity. Once again, kind of like you guys were getting kills, felt like most of the game, but once again, just kind of falling it behind a bit on the macro. Felt like they were getting more off the immortals they got, despite the kill differential. What were your thoughts there?
Yeah, we lost Immortal, I think, one of them, the first or second one, by a pretty close margin. I think just getting caught by something that they did, whether or not it was a combo of stuns or something, but that full health Immortal was a tough one to deal with a little bit later. And we were kind of on our back foot the whole time, clearing at the cost of trying to be better team fight. And just tried to survive, made it, somehow stopped that one on core, and got a chance to go again. And it worked a lot better when I'm not polymorphed and can get a D shield off in a fight.
Yeah, I mean the polymorphs was everything there. I was a bit worried when I saw the Brightwing picking his Zul'jin, just because I generally don't think of that as a great matchup, just because Zul'jin can kind of truck out the damage so very fast. But the polys definitely seem to be pretty disruptive there. Still, though, at the end of the game, you guys were doing a little bit with Uther. Walk me through your Uther 20 and how you guys used it so well.
My goal was, hopefully, if I saw them engaging, could just pop it on all of us to mitigate all of their cooldowns at the start of the fight. And if they didn't realize it, they'd blow a lot of cooldowns on nothing, and then we'd have an advantage on them. Didn't quite get to use it as much as I would have liked. I know that last fight on the bottom keep, I had to throw it on Carpe. He was stuck in his own crater with, like, I don't know, -5 health, and managed to keep him alive and strengthen our last little push there.
Yeah, and you guys indeed managed to push in and get the core there Off that Immortal late game, of course, obviously with the scaling at that point, you have quite a bit of damage to burn that down. Well, with that, I have to ask, heading into A East now, it's a rather different division than last season. A lot of the kind of top teams moving on to Nexus. And I actually have the standings pulled up right now, although I know you can't see it because of the 30-second delay. This was your first match of the season. Who are you kind of eyeballing this season as someone that you really want to make sure you're able to get the better of, out of curiosity?
Well, since I'm not going to be playing in most games, I think it's hard for me to say.
Mhm.
I'm definitely excited to, if I am playing against Baby on board. We've had a lot of good games with them in
Mhm.
Storm League, and I'd like to see it on the main stage with them because last season I know they dropped out before we played them,
Yeah.
and I was kind of
As
disappointed by
Careless
that.
Badgers, just to clarify for people. So,
Correct.
yeah. All right. Well, I actually will be casting Baby on Board versus Regen Phoenix. So hashtag segues. That'll be next Tuesday. Looking forward to that. But with that, the floor is yours for shoutouts. Go ahead.
Shout out to you. Thanks for picking up the cast. Quality caster is always great. Shout out to the team and our main roster guy letting me know 10 minutes before the game that I needed to sub in for him. That was helpful. And I guess that's really it for now. We'll have more shout outs later when we get more people to scrim with.
All right. Well, thank you. And with that, we will draw the interview.